Hello, everybody. Today is a very fun day. It's the day that we've been waiting for quite some time. Spirit finally dropped their trailer for most of their new animatronics for this year, also known as the Graveyard Shift trailer. Well, the Graveyard Shift is the thing on the site that was counting down to this, but this is the official Graveyard Shift trailer, which means soon we're going to be getting a full video of this stuff. But this is just the trailer. Last month we got the teaser hinting towards this. Now we got the trailer. Soon we're going to get the full video probably. But the props are getting now listed on Spirit's site with the full demo videos of all these animatronics. But anyways, before we start, I must say I've seen the video already, all right? I was at work today. I work all the time, so I just got, but I must say I am very impressed with this year's lineup. I know I like the animatronics every year, but this year feels different. There's so much uniqueness in this year. Let me just play the video and then I'll talk after. I'm not going to play the video in normal speed because everyone's already seen the video at this point. But I'm going to play it in the slow speed so you can see everything. I hope I want to quickly check just to make sure my microphone's working correctly. Okay, it is. Thank God. Sometimes I record a whole video and it wasn't working right the whole time, so. Let's turn on the juice and see what shakes loose. So as I said, I was very impressed when I saw this. I First of all, I had no idea that Bloody Bag of Jokes was going to return, so that was quite shocking. I think Pumpkin Nester is too. We weren't able to see him in this teaser, but there's literally a portrait of him in the store this year. So it would make no sense for him to have that if he wasn't. But please note that some of these are also going to be online only ones. I think the only remake that's going to be in stores is Wacky. I think Grave Grabbing Corpse, he's back. Bloody Bag of Jokes and Pumpkin Nest are going to be online only ones, kind of like Gatekeeper and Flesh Eater last year. That's the only disappointing part, really. I would really wish those were in stores, and maybe Bloody Bag will be, but the theme photos got leaked and we didn't see those. I know not like all the angles got shown, but still, I don't know. But there is going to be some filler animatronics too, like last year, like with Miss Mercy, Little Daisy and the Maestro, Ellie Hatchet, and all those. There's going to be filler animatronics for when animatronics sell out. You set replacements up, in their spots. So it's going to be like that again this year as well. And some of those props are also going to be Frighten the Box, Man's Possessed Friend, all three of the original Jumping Spiders. Um, uh, uh, Maybe that's it. And whatever new ones are fillers this year. But anyways, yeah, Spirit earlier this year had people take a survey about what kind of animatronics they would like to see this year. And I really do think they did try their best to try to give something that everybody liked, because I put on mine that I love animatronics with lots of animation, unique, programmed, synchronized movement to audio, like not that motionette type style like Towering Clown have and all those types. I like actual synchronized programming on animatronics. And Grim, that skeleton, that's exactly what I see on that. I was not expecting him to even move at all. When I first saw the theme photos, I thought it was like, is this like some static skeleton that's in the display, or is it like a new Bony Tony? This is one of the probably the most animated animatronics I've seen since the 2010 Freddy Krueger. Honestly, like I cannot believe Spirit is point and Hunt, or what's it with Henry Hessel. Henry Hustle is probably my favorite, and I find him the most unique this year. It's another clown animatronic, but this is a unique one. Like Han Farmer said, like before, like a lot of clown animatronics are basic and like what they're gonna do. Henry Hustle, like I had no clue. I remember seeing like there was like diagrams or whatever, blueprints of like the animatronics, and there was a two-headed clown. But when I saw Henry, I was like, wait, he doesn't have two heads. Where's the other? It didn't dawn to me that there was another head inside of him that pops up to reveal another face. That is so unique, and the fact that his arm moves with the card, so unique. I love that. It's props like that really that stay original, and just so many animatronics this year are just original, and they're different. They're not like, a lot of them are not some of them are reskins, but a lot of them are new, unique ideas. I mean, I told Spirit I like graveyard props, I like rising props, I like props that have lots of program synchronization, and we've gotten a little bit of everything this year. We've even got some more others with basic movement, like the Caretaker. So it's really cool that they tried their best to please everybody. But of course, there still are some people that are disappointed. There is no way to please 7 billion people in the world. So So again, here's the pictures of the themes and where the animatronics are. So this is like after like the entrance area. You see Beetlejuice, on top of the walkthrough, a countdown until Halloween. Then you see some like crates or whatever that have some gears on them that most likely spin. that sewer thing right next to it is actually what the Pennywise jumps out of. Now that Pennywise, I wasn't expecting it to be a Pennywise. I thought it was going to be like a zombie head of some sort, but it is cool that it's Pennywise. And now some people are iffy about the Pennywise because they've said we've gotten too many Pennywise things, but honestly, the Pennywise animatronics are hit and miss for a lot of people because the first one from Morbid came out in 2018 and that one was shit for the most. The voice was not accurate, the looks were not accurate, especially the face. Then 2019 and 2020, Spirit had the Crazy Create one, which most people liked, but they were really faulty, especially the 2019 model. It looked really good. The 2020 model didn't look as good, well, except for the hair. The hair wasn't as bad, but the suit was a lot thinner, so it wasn't as bulky, so he looked smaller. But, well, Blaine doesn't like the Pennywise because he said its face looks like a baby. The Jemmy one is not movie accurate because gave a freaking LED eyeballs. They just stuck LEDs in the eyes, and they called it good. They didn't give any type of detailing to the eyes whatsoever. Compared to what the prototype looked like, that was a huge failure. And then Techie Toys made a few in 2019. They made the sewer grabber one, the one that pops up from behind the cellar, or sewer, I mean, whatever it is. And then there's this one, which actually looks really good. I think the detailing is good. It looks a lot scarier than the other Pennywise animatronics, I'd say. So this one's fine. And then you see Grim. That's that skeleton. See, when I first thought that, I was like, what is that? Is that just a static skeleton? Or is that like a freaking remake Boney Tony? They would never be that dumb to release that thing again. That thing was a huge failure. Worst seller of all time. But no, it's when you look at it, it looks like it's something that wouldn't have any movement. But the fact that both arms move, body moves, head turns, mouth moves, eyes move, like how much that is like just incredible. You just don't expect all that looking at it. And then there's Nightcrawler returning from. I bet he'll have a little bit better springs this year, maybe. Because a lot of people complained about that last year, so they'll probably upgraded the springs. Oh, that's the Home Depot Jester. It holds the face over it. It holds that mask over its face and pulls it away and reveals the face underneath. I think I'm gonna get that. That is so unique too. He's up there right neck and neck with I keep forgetting its name now. Harley Hustle or whatever. Sorry, I keep forgetting its name. And then there's another picture of the thing in the store of just the skeleton and Nightcrawler. But you can see some of the stuff in the background, like the other displays. Like you can see some of the Trick or Treat merchandise that's returning, like the side steppers and all that. Then there's this side that has Henry Hustle. God damn it. Sorry, this laptop is so irritating. Henry Hustle, again, people do not expect the second face to pop up. That is just, which the second face reminds me a lot of City and Scare Witch. It looks really, really detailed. And then there's that, I'm not sure what that girl does. I'm sure she flips over in some way, or her head pops out and another head pops up too. Something like that. I don't know. It does that and there's one other thing that wasn't teased very well in that video, so it was hard to tell what they do. And then there's Punctured Pete. The Punctured Pete this year isn't as good. I saw someone who got the 2021 model. It doesn't move as much as last year, unless it's just that person's. And I was really thinking that they would update it this year because the last year's had a step pad slot and a step pad setting switch, but it wasn't programmed for that function. And yet this new one still has that, and they didn't fix that function. That's the one thing I thought they would update, and they didn't. So that's the only disappointment thing with that. But then there's Buzzsaw. This new animatronic is called Buzzsaw, just like the one from 2012. Now, the thing is, Spirit makes these names for these animatronics, and they own the rights to these names. Which means we could have gotten this Buzzsaw back in 2012. They could have given this name to any. They'll ask all the companies that are working with them, I want Buzzsaw. And all companies will make something, with us, like either like this. In this case, this is Seasonal Visions. The one we got was Magic Power, right? I think. No, Morbid. I'm sorry, it was Morbid. But yeah, they could have chose that instead. So this could have been something that we could have gotten in 2012, but they chose the Morbid one instead that time. They can give new animatronics these names because they own these names to these animatronics. That's why when Techie produces the same animatronics that Spirit sold, the Party City, they have to give it a new name sometimes. So yeah, moving on. That's just Beetlejuice in the walkthrough tunnel part and the back of Henry Hustle. This is the other thing that was not teased very well in that trailer. It looks like a Jack-o'-lantern remake. The way his arms are structured, it really looks like Jack-o'-lantern. But in the pictures, you can see it actually is like 7 foot tall. So either this thing pops up like really far, or it rises up and it's a newer version of Wild Witch, which is what Stranger Hans said, Alex. So I'm curious. I mean, I really thought it was going to be a Jack-o'-lantern though, because the way his arms are positioned, it really looks like it. But and then here's both sides of the back theme, the left side having that theme, and then the right side having those two girls. That one girl is very interesting. The shorter one in the pink dress or whatever. That was in the teaser, but it was a very short clip. You could barely see it. But it's crazy creative. I can tell. It has a head, a ghoul head, or like some demon head behind it that lurks around her head from behind, and her eyes move the direction the head is going. Like, so when the head is on the right, her eyes turn to the right. It's so cool. It's like a horror movie. Like, that's another concept that's so unique that has never been done on an animatronic before. So that's so interesting. And then there's that Brad that's holding the groom's head, and it looks like it kind of like rises and like sway or like a little bit, or I don't know. It was hard to tell. That's the giant jumping spider, the new one. That wasn't. I didn't see that in the teaser, but a lot of this stuff it moves so fast in that teaser that it's hard to tell. But it looks like the regular jumping spider, but it's just a larger version of the regular one. It's not like the one we got in 2012. Um, then here's the full theme. Like, I don't know if this back part of this theme has a walkthrough like the aquarium a few years ago where there's a bunch of TV screens, because a lot of people thought they were going to have that this year. But it doesn't look like it, because you see a bunch of the shelving in the background. And so and it looks like this is right up against the wall. So it doesn't look like there's a back walkthrough of this theme. But anyways, we can see there's Wacky-Mo on the right, Harvester of Souls next to him, the giant jumping spider. Right there is the Undertaker, and then on the very left, which is kind of blocked off, that is Mr. Howls, I'm pretty sure. And then there's some windows on each side that you can stick your head through, and like we saw in this one, oh, it's not a close-up picture though. We'll get to a closer picture here. Oh, there's some more closer pictures later on, but like you stick your head through that window, the portrait, the side, like where the girls are, there's the portrait of Pumpkin Esther, and right next to that you can stick your head in it, and I guess you're supposed to get your like, it's like to get your picture taken by your parents or whatever, if you're like a kid. And then on the other side, there's a skeleton that has no head. You stick your head through that window, and your head is supposed to be the skeleton's head. That's really neat and creative. Oh yeah, another thing that was very missed is this thing that's under this skeleton's leg or foot is there's a arm or something that strikes out or jumps out of it. I thought that was just like a cardboard piece to hold his foot up, like the crates last year. But no, that is actually an animatronic that was in the teaser as well. And here is an adapter. I thought this was interesting. Special adapter for Henry Hustle and Nightcrawler. It's kind of strange because I know those are both Crazy Create, but isn't Nightcrawler's voltage the same as all the other Crazy Create animatronics? I never really paid attention. Why is this a special adapter for Henry Hustle and Nightcrawler? Why is it only those two? Because there's so many Crazy Create props this year and all the other years that I'm pretty sure all their adapter voltages were exactly the same, but I could be wrong. I never really checked that out, but I just found that very interesting. Like, why is this one special for them? Hmm. Perhaps just because they have more movement than most Crazy Create props? I don't know. So it has more of a voltage. Here's that portrait of Pumpkin Nester, and right beside that is the one that you stick your head in. And there's a little bit of the girl. You can't really see that demon head thing hides right behind her head. And then when it's activated, it goes around her head on both sides, and her eyes follow, like I said. Now, this is something else that was in the teaser. I believe this is like another two-headed clown. It's kind of like Blood Brothers. I think it's like a clown version of Blood Brothers, but a little better, I guess. But I have a feeling this one is online only. I don't, because we didn't see this in any of the pictures of the themes. But again, not everything was shown. It could be a filler, but I'm sure this was online only. Because Bari, which was already released and is already known as an online only prop, was also in this trailer. So there's that bride that holds his head, the groom's head or whatever it is. Oh, there's that John Doe looking thing on the sheets in the background. I don't know if that does something or if that's just or if they just put that there as display. But oh, I feel like this is supposed to be that person's head. They kind of just decorated it to go with the theme. But it's hard to tell what kind of motion she does. But it looks like she moves her arms with that head that she's holding, and it looks like I think she like rises. I think she's like the levitator that was at Party City last year in a way. I feel like that's what she's like. There's that thing that the hand or whatever jumps out of, that crate. That's crazy creative, of course. I can tell because of the structure of the material of the crate. There it is. That's the thing that the demon lurks out from behind. It's so cool. Uh, this isn't it, is it? No. See, here's that thing that I thought was a remake Jack-o'-lantern. Look, it's short. It's really small when we see it in that theme, but it fucking goes up high. So either this thing really does rise or it pops up super fast because that's quite a height to rise up to. So I don't know. This is very interesting, I think. It could be like demonic Dahlia too, but no, I think it like turns its upper body too, like where like his arm and head assembly, like it turns side to side. I don't think it like sways side to side, but it looked like that's what it was doing in the teaser from what we could see of it. And there's the close up of his face. Oh, and here's that two-headed clown. They're holding like some looking mermaid-looking girl. I don't fucking know. She looks like she's a mermaid. I can't tell. Oh, it looks like this is no. I don't know. But they do look cool. But I'm almost sure, like I said, that that's an online only one. Here's the distance of them. Yeah, they're pretty much like blood brothers, though, from what I can tell. You know, I was suggesting something like this. Like for future Flashback Fridays, if Spirit is watching this video, they should make a theme called Best Selling Memories because I don't like it where only one of the returning props is in the store and the rest are online only. It would be and especially since they like to throw all their props in the same theme, that would be the best way to do it. Like could be like the House of Horrors that they used to do in 2011 and 2012, like with like Ghostface. That could be like their best sellers, you know, just like 4 animatronics, you know, because that's how many were in those themes back then. So yeah, that's just something that they should take note of. But also, I must say, the factory theme, I do think the factory theme is much better than the last 2 years. The ship that they had, the aquarium, the island, and the cave where the animatronics, most of the animatronics in those made no sense whatsoever. This is the best way to do that because the factory, there's no like limit to what can be in a factory. Like anybody can work in a factory, so it does work. And then we saw this thing, which it was kind of hard to tell what this thing was meant to do. It looks like its mouth moves. It looks like this is another thing that has a lot of animation. Unless this is a static animatronic, because sometimes they have static animatronics. But it looks really cool, and I can tell this is what was up front, because there's a part up front where you see a scythe, something holding a scythe, and this is the very first thing you see when you come in the store. And the other thing is probably Shorty. Yeah, it looks like his head turns. He looks like he has a few animations too. This looks very neat. This is pretty a pretty creepy animatronic. And then here's Henry Hustle. Again, love that second face. That thing, that is a very creepy face. Like, you just do not expect that. This is going to be probably one of the best sellers. I am almost positive. I am all the animatronics I'm getting this year, I'm planning on ordering instead of buying from the store because I know all of these animatronics are going to sell so well this year. They sold so well last year. COVID did not stop people from buying animatronics. People were buying animatronics at our store like crazy. And last year was the year we had the most quantity that we've ever had. Usually we only get like 3 to 5 of every animatronic each year. We're lucky if we get 5. It's typically 3. Last year we got more than that of pretty much every prop. But that doesn't mean we will this year. So I don't want to take some of the quantity away from other people. So I can order because this year they'll have the kiosk computer where you can order in the store. Last year our store didn't have that because of COVID. So, but this year, and you get free shipping charges too. They like take discounts off shipping when you order at the store kiosk. And there is some way that you can apply an employee discount too if you, I think, contact Spirit directly. Because my store doesn't really let me use employee discount because yeah, they just don't. Because I buy too many of them and they don't like giving that many away for that cheap. So they like to make as much as they can off of them. Let's just say they actually get irritated at me buying all of them even without a discount, just because it takes away from the quantity from other people. So it's whatever, and I don't really care. I mean, I kind of agree with that too. I'd actually, at this point, rather buy them online so that there's more for other people to buy. This is Harriet Hustle. She's supposed to be related to Henry Hustle. So that's kind of interesting. That's what makes me think there might be another head on her too. There's one photo where, oh no, never mind. She probably doesn't, but I think she just flips around on the thing, or she does some type of backbending thing. I'm pretty sure she kind of looks like a menacing Molly type thing. See, here's a close up of her face, Hanformer, and this was a screenshot taken from Hanformer's video. What the? Now here's a close up of that one with that demon thing that lurks behind it. This thing is, like I said, this is cool. Look at her face. You know, I'm pretty sure this is a crazy create. Pretty sure it has the mech of the graveyard duel where the head just kind of rotate. Instead of it rotating around a tombstone, it's around her head. But her eyes again turn and look. You know, it's so cool. You know, Crazy Crate, even though like their quality tends to be cheap sometimes, they are amazing with detailing. You know, they always, I mean, but they are trying to get better, I do think, because I mean, last year Jackstraw was a lot better than the 2019. Well, the screens were weak last year because people complained about the reset time because they reset too slow, so they weakened the screen so that they'd reset faster. This is info that came from Jaden, the Jimmy Collector, Jaden Wright. But they loosened the screens too much to the point where they didn't jump fast anymore, and they got weaker and weaker. So Spirit knows about this problem, and they probably re-updated the screens for this year's animatronics. So same with Fright in the Box. I bet you the one that they have this year might be faster than last year's model. So, and then we've got Night Stalker. This is a picture of its box that got leaked 2 days ago. I I thought it was going to be like a hanging hell fiend. Cole Walker thought it was going to be a static like Twisting Tina, but it twitches its head kind of like the Boogeyman. So I don't know actually if this is Crazy Create or Techie actually. Now that I think about it, probably Crazy Create, but it's because it's pretty detailed. But it could be Techie because they use that twitching mech a lot. And then this is Shorty, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I don't know where this is standing because in the theme photos, we can see it standing on that side where there's like a yellowish like lighting tint on the walkthrough part. So, but we didn't actually see him in any of those theme photos. So there's more that we probably didn't see to the themes, but still, I don't know. And here's a little sneak or a clip of Wacky Mole's box. I am so glad they kept Wacky Mole exactly the same. The only difference is his shoes. The old shoes were fabric. These ones are that paper plastic type material that they've been using for quite a few years now, ever since like 2017. on the towering clown. But I was worried that before that they were gonna mess up the face, but it's exactly the same. Everything looks the same. It's going to have better audio than the original because the audio on the original sucks even at full volume. But it's a direct remake, just like the Limb Ripper. The only main difference with the Limb Ripper was the sensor and the audio. I mean, I still have yet to find the 2017 one because I really want that one. But thank God, because at first we thought he was going to have a turning head that would turn the opposite direction from the body, a moving hammer arm, and maybe a moving mouth. But no, it's exactly like the original, which means nobody has to worry about finding both versions or spending $600 on eBay for the old model. It's the same, so we can get the newer model without feeling like we need the old one to compare it to. Because really, the only difference is the shoes and the audio quality and step pad feature and those updated features, stuff like that. But cosmetically, it's the same except for the shoes. But the new shoes look really nice on it. And here's another photo of those. I don't know what the portrait is beside Pumpkin Nester. It's another animatronic. I don't know what it is though. And then here. Okay, I'm sure this looks weird, but I'm trying to crop it so you can see like more of, because you see like more of like nothing than you do the actual picture itself. But as you can see, what's circled is what looks like the Hauntress, but that might actually be the Ghostface one, because the Ghostface this year is the Hauntress mechanism. It jumps out to the side. So that means when you enter the store, there is going to be one of those on each side. It's going to be the Hauntress and Ghostface, but Ghostface is holding a knife in his left hand, and in the video, he's coming out to the left side, which means I think Ghostface is going to be on the, well, if you're walking up to it, it is the left side. The right side might be the Hauntress going the other way. But, yeah. And see, you can see it on the front part where, like, Crouchy was last year, basically. Something holding a scythe. That's that like demon thing with the goat head or whatever. that demonic thing. I don't know. I don't know what it's. I don't know all the names to these things yet. But I don't know which one's on the other side. So either it's Shorty, but I don't think it is because that's the one that we saw the picture of is not in that section. So it could be that two-headed clown, but I don't think so. I don't know what it is. I have no clue what's going to be what's in that other side. And then here I circled it just so you can see where the scythe is. And that thing on the bottom, that's more fabric to one of the other like jump out characters, whether it's the Hauntress or Ghostface. But yeah. Now, Spirit's website, and there's Mr. Howls. I'm not sure what to think about Mr. Howls yet. So far, all I've seen is he has a moving mouth and a tilting head. I can't tell if his body moves. I think his body lifts, but I'm not sure. Not all of them are on the site yet. Only a few of them. Bloody Bag isn't on the site yet, and like, yeah, a lot of the others aren't. But there's Wacky Mole, which is $220 this year. Now, for those of you who don't know or remember, the original one in 2013 was $200, but 2020, after all these years, is not a bad price, especially since we're getting, again, upgraded audio and all that stuff.
I just love hitting you bozos with my hammer. You better watch out, or I'm gonna whomp you over the head, too. Oh, please, come a little closer. Yeah. Bad Halloween costumes make me crazy. They make me wanna pummel things with my hammer. Yes, I think I'm going crazy again.
And for those of you who don't know, our store again.
I just love hitting you, bozo.
Our store starts setting up again. July 24th. My first day will be like the 26th or 7th probably, but our deadline opening day is August 14th. Now some of these animatronics are saying they're not available until the August 31st and all that. So when we open, again, they're probably not going to have everything available. Which the only thing that I stress out about every year is I hope my store lets me set up everything, because every year I get anxious that they're not going to let me set up everything, because sometimes they don't like me setting up all of them because of how much they tend to break. And last year was pretty decent though. They didn't they lasted a bit before they started breaking down. They did. Um, but then when they brought the Morris costumes in last year, we set up a KG to clown that was $350, and it had a factory error, like the lever that turns his body side to side was not adjusted right, so his body would jam. So I had to have his motor disconnected, and it they wouldn't let me try to fix it because they just didn't want me to mess with them anymore because they were afraid I was going to make it worse and all that. They got paranoid about me setting them up last year. They thought like maybe like I was setting them up wrong, which was what was causing them to break, which kind of irritates me because it's like, dude, I've been doing this since 2012. I've been buying my own of every single one of these every year since 2009. Like I know what I'm doing. I mean, sometimes I occasionally mess up, of course, but it's still just the fact that they started not trusting me setting them up kind of like irritated me. Anyways, but with something that expensive right out of the box being not right, that really put an end to setting up new animatronics last year. Because that was a lot of money for some. And then the motor in the clown in the cage burnt out. It started smoking and it fried it. Well, it didn't smoke, but it burnt out and it fried it. It ended up frying it. Yeah, it was bad. But that one was just a dud, and I know there's a dud in every batch. Okay, there always is. Not every single one's going to be perfect. Each one has a different lifespan, and I know that. And then last year we were not allowed to set up the Hantras. We sold them all anyways. Just me telling the customers what they do was enough to make it sell. But last year with social distancing and all that, and we were afraid it was going to hit people, and then they would freak out and scream at us for having something dangerous on the floor. Or it would just get busted because people would start slapping it and stuff like that. But hopefully this year I'll be allowed to set those up since we don't have all these COVID problems like we had last year with social distancing and all that. Okay, so here's Grim for $280. This might sound expensive, but again, for all the animation you get with this animatronic, that's really not bad. I mean, when we had Mommy's Favorite, which was not even 3 feet tall last year, for $100, and all she does is turn side to side, this is definitely a steal compared to what last year. Um, I mean, Mommy's Favorite is fine and all, but I hate the fact that she only has one phrase. When the prototype had four, they cut all the good phrases out. And same with Johnny Punk. Last year, they cut all the good phrases out. Like, they were funny. They gave it three stupid phrases instead, which made it the most hated prop of all time. Thankfully, that's the thing that they did last year. This year, all the animatronics are unique. They got good animation, good phrase, good audio. Everything's better this year. But last year, some of the decisions they made for some of these last year just were not good. But I'm really pleased with this year.
Ah, you look like death warmed over, my friend. This is good. Soon there will be enough of us. And we will terrorize the living until we own this night. Are you with me? Tonight is ours!
I mean, this seriously has movement of a professional animatronic. Like all that is amazing.
You look like death warmed over.
We never see animatronics with that much movement. Again, the last time we saw something with that much movement was the 2010 Freddy Krueger. Even this, like its head, like it looks like it tilts. It tilts to the side. It turns. It's crazy. And again, when you look at its structure, it looks like something that would be a posable thing, but not a moving animatronic. But it really catches you off guard. And I thought the eyes were digital, but they're actually just like regular LED eyes. I don't even know what company made that thing because it's hard to tell. Like, not a lot of companies make just skeletons like that, so it's hard to say. Mr. Howell, $300. sure about this one. I'm not sure what I think. This is one I'd have to see in person because I'm not sure. We definitely needed more werewolf props at Spirit for sure. So, but I'm just irritated because all my werewolf props never work, like Pop-Up Werewolf and Limb Ripper and all that. Henry Hustle.
Step right up and pick a card. It seems you've picked the card of death.
Yeah, I love that one. You know, this is one that you do not want.
Time for a trick. Remember this card. It'll be the last thing you'll ever see.
This is one that you do not want the relay switch to not work
Step
correctly on.
right up and pick a card.
Because, yeah, if that relay switch messes up, its head's going to pop up at random times or stay up, and it's going to just, like, throw the whole thing off. So this has got 3 phrases. Oh, and I forgot to say about the Whack-A-Mole. It has all 3 of the original sayings as well. It doesn't have, like, a new added one or anything like that. It's all the original sayings. Buzzsaw. I'm not sure. This one doesn't have too much movement, but it still looks really cool.
Little trimming. A nip here, a tuck there. You'll be perfect in no time. Did you see that? I saw that. You need to be cut
Okay.
down to size. I've got a hammer, and I hammer in the evening all over this place.
That one's 280 again. That's not a bad price for him either. It's got 7 phrases. Maybe this is party time costumes. They don't usually. Well, I was gonna say they don't usually make props with moving mouths, but then again, collector had a moving mouth, and it kind of looks. Actually, it kind of does look like a party time costume type animatronic. Either way, it's either party time or a SVI. I don't know. I don't see any that look like WO this year. Night Stalker 180. I feel like some of that laughter was. I feel like some of that laughter was ripped from the Joker. Beetlejuice. Now this one surprised me. I thought he was actually going to have Pennywise's mech where it would jump and it would look like it was jumping off the tombstone at you. But no, but his body turns and his mouth moves. He's very well detailed, and the mouth movement is pretty good on it, and I like the way the body twitch turns.
Thank you. That is why I won't do 2 shows a night anymore, babe. I won't do. Hey, these aren't my rules. Come to think of it, I don't have any rules. I'm feeling a little anxious, if you know what I mean. Been about 600 years after all. I wonder where a guy, an everyday Joe like myself, could find a little action. Now, let's turn on the juice and see what shakes loose. So, say it once, say it twice, third time's the charm. Just say it. It's showtime.
So yeah, he has 5 phrases, and $280. Ghostface, which once again is is exactly the same as Huntress, and it's 130, which is pretty good for a licensed. You know, it's literally the same price as Huntress this year. That's all the new ones that are on the site right now. The rest are older ones. There's Bari, which was released like 2 weeks ago now, a week ago. I don't know. Uncle Charlie's online only this year. But again, Bari or Barry, however you want to call it. He's online only. City and Scarecrow will be in stores again this year as $100. He'll be a filler animatronic. He's like the spiders. He'll be back every year. The regular spiders don't appear to be on display this year, just the new giant one. But the spiders can be used as a filler this year. Nightcrawler, Angeline is online only. We thought it was good. We thought she was going to be in stores earlier this year, but no, she's online only. Sam is online only, and if you want Sam, I would suggest you buy him this year because this will likely be his last year. This is his third season, and it's a licensed animatronic. It's got to be discontinued at some point to hold collector's value. To be valuable someday. So I'm pretty sure this will be his last year. Krampus is online only, I'm pretty sure this year. Hunters will be in stores, as we already know. Ellie Hatchet will be online only this year. All these other ones from here on down are online only. And leftovers from last year, pretty much, because Johnny Punk isn't getting a new batch released, I'm pretty sure. Punctured Pete. Like I said, Man's Possessed Friend is in stores again this year. He's a filler. Same with Fright in the Box. If at our store, if Henry Hustle sells out, I'm putting Fright in the Box in his spot or something like that. I don't really. I have mixed feelings about Harvester of Souls. Like, I want him to be up, but at the same time, I'd rather put something else new up if it's a filler instead of him, because I'm going to have issues with his fog tube clogging up again every 15 minutes like last year. That was a pain in the ass. Or I might just not connect the fog at all. But that defeats the purpose of it. I don't even know if Spirit wants the fog hooked up this year. Last year, it was your choice depending on the story you're in, but this year I'm not sure if they want you to have the fog connected or not to it. We haven't seen that yet, but yeah. Again, Puncture Pete is obviously in stores. We saw that. Our store has leftover Little Daisy and the Maestros from last year and Waving Wallies. We still have all three. Hopefully, I want to set Waving Wall. We're in the Herberger store again, and I want to set him up by the entrance so when people are walking by in the mall, he's just kind of waving, but with his audio turned completely off because there's the people that think he says all Africans must be dead. So yeah, that clown creates so much controversy. All these rest again are online only and older props. So yeah, that's it. Actually, there's one more prop. I have a video of the Undertaker. All right, here's the Caretaker. I'm not this one's cool, but I don't know if I'm gonna get this one because his movement is basic, but he still looks really cool. I'm not sure. We'll have to see. But I don't want to. The thing is, I don't have room for a bunch of new props. There's more props that I want than what I was hoping I'd want. I always go in with the mindset, oh, I'm only getting 6 this year. That's it. Then I see the full lineup, and I work at the store, and eventually I'm like, okay, I'm just buying them all. you know, but I don't really have room for any new ones right now. It's just kind of, I don't know what to do. My rooms are all a mess and everything. I don't know. We'll see. But here,
There you are. I've been looking for you all night. I've come for you in regards to a serious matter. A very grave matter. Take a good look at my face. It will be the last thing you ever see. Right before I seal your coffin for your eternal slumber. Sweet dreams.
so yeah, I saw the Home Depot lineup. There's a few things I like from there. I like the plant thing. I'm probably gonna get that, like I said, that jester that holds that pulls the mask away from its face, and they got a new version of the flaming scarecrow, which I might get. And then Target has a new Jack and Sally for this year that has new animation. Well, yeah. And then there's going to be a Santa suit, Jack, on Target.com as well. I kind of want to get them just so I can make a comparison review on GMA because I have the 2017 one. Dawn has the 2018 one. The lady I work at Spear with every year and go to her house every once in a while. Um, and then there's these new ones that have a song now and new phrases. Anyways, here's the new Jack and Sally. This is the last thing I'm going to show in this video.
There are few who deny it. What I do, I am the best. For my talents are renowned far and wide.
I thought people were saying he was going to have a turning head this year, but I don't know. Anyways, this video has been quite long enough. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Like I said, very impressed this year. Good job, Spirit. Keep going in this direction, and yeah.